Hello, and welcome today at Rush Racing League. Today, it's the last week of testing or evaluation races here at Racing League, and today we're at Singapore with Division 6. If it's morning, evening, or maybe midnight for you, like Rekas, who is with me, you're all welcome, and I hope you're all having a great time here. I'm Myro, and I'm having Rekas with me. Hello, Rekas. How are you today? Or this night for you, actually.
I'm doing pretty fantastic. It is 5:30 a.m. here in Southern Florida, and I am honestly super excited. Coming back to Singapore, Singapore is a certified Rush Racing League classic. I
Yeah.
mean, we've had bangers all throughout the week here. It is easily the hardest track on the calendar when it comes to these evaluation races here. There's a lot of walls, and the walls take no prisoners here. And from my experience with the Division 4 race that happened earlier on in the week, you got to really worry about keeping that car underneath of you because it is very easy to have massive snaps of oversteer here, especially when we get to the bridge. So, tire management is going to be so crucial in today's race.
Indeed, I'm also very excited what the drivers are gonna do with strategy, with race pace, maybe crashes. I'm not sure how it's gonna go, but we are starting qualifying. If you don't know evaluation races, we have short qualifying, which means 18 minutes. 1 minute has already passed of qualifying. Normally we do full qualifying and also 50 or 100% race, depends on the race, but now we're only doing a 25% race. An evaluation race, if you also don't know, is a kind of testing race for us as the FIA and also for the drivers to test strategy, to test setups, or maybe to test race pace, to test your stress level, how you drive under the stress.
Ooh,
Ooh. And also it's
this is a
testing.
Sauber that was going around.
Yeah, it's also testing for the teams itself because they hire all the drivers. So it's not too long of a race, but we also get luckily in the testing race, evaluation races, a lot of action, and we can test things like we're doing right now with the formation lab, and we will see how it's gonna go for the next season. Who is coming up any moment. Right now, we're looking at the Ferrari of Chevy, who is gonna start. Chevy, yeah. It looks like. Oh no, I'm blind. On their out lap, and they are the first one who is gonna start their fast lap, while the Kick Sauber is behind them, who spun at the opening lap, probably because of cold tires. Let's see how they are gonna do. I'm very curious how it's gonna go. It will be a lot of action always in qualifying here at Rush Racing League, and especially at the end of qualifying with the traffic, with the track evolution. That it's just crazy that everyone is coming through, and then all the times are coming in. You can be last and then just be first if you're having a very good lap at the end. Right now we're having 19 drivers because someone didn't join, but we invited them and they will join any moment. Otherwise, there will be a reserve driver coming up. Chevy gone a bit wide at the corner a moment ago, so I'm not sure if the lap is invalidated. They're still on their hot lap battery, but I'm not sure what they're gonna do otherwise. If they have invalidated, they can better go on the side and let the Kick Sauber go through, or give them slipstream like right now. They're almost coming in.
Yeah, it's going to be very.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how this qualifying session does play out. We know Chevy Wolves has been pretty quick in the past. Although jumping from F1 24 to F1 25 is a completely different animal when it comes to handling This game is a lot more responsive, a lot more snappy, if you will, as Hennessy, a former champion here in Rush Racing League, took pole position for a very short time before Breadman goes ahead and becomes a breadwinner, taking pole position here. But it is still early stages here in this qualifying session, so there's a lot of drivers who actually set times when they still had full battery. So a lot of good banker laps here, and you really want to try to impress your team principals here because the draft is on Friday night. So this is really your last chance to go ahead and prove yourself to be a part of the driver pool that these team principals are really going to be looking at here. So it'll be very interesting to see how this qualifying session goes. And this track, you really got to pick your moment. You got to be patient enough to really pick your moment to go for it. Your best chances of overtaking are in the DRS zone, in the first sector, and then the one right at the end, right where that honestly kind of obnoxious chicane used to be up until. That is now a straight line down the back of Sector 3. Crazy Fair, though, taking pole position with a 135, or 130.5, I should say. But so far, it is an interesting session. I know I'm usually in the Division 4 sector, and actually that's the first time we commented together, Myra, was in the first Division 4 evaluation race. But it'll be really interesting to see how these Div 6 drivers give it a go. Div 6, for those of you who may not be familiar, was our most recent addition to the Rush Racing League schedule. We brought in Division 6 at the beginning of last season. I actually commentated for the first race of it, and it was a lot of fun out in Monza. So we'll see how it goes.
Yes, impressing team principal is very, very important on these races as the driver, and it also these races gain you confidence for the actual races. Because it's an evaluation race, there are no points on the line, so the drivers can do whatever, but they can't deliberately crash into each other, of course not, but they can test things out like setup, strategy, and maybe go for moves that they otherwise wouldn't go for it because it's too crazy or too risky to do. But also, if the move happens, if they can do the move, it's good for your confidence. Also shows that you can drive and maybe get a full-time seat. If you don't know, here at Rush Racing League we have 6 main divisions and one reserve division who is also driving. So we have a lot of people, a lot of drivers. I don't know how many, but a lot. So if a little advertising, if you want to be a driver, if you want to be a team principal maybe, if you want to join us for commentating, maybe want to be a steward or FIA even, join the Discord server. We don't bite, we only have a great time right there. So I don't know what you're waiting for. Just join the Discord server, it's always a great time right there. A lot of people are there, a lot of helpful people if you want to, if you need to get help with something. So, and otherwise, just click the follow button here on Twitch, so you don't miss any races, because we're racing almost every day in the week, so you don't want to miss all the action. While we are looking with the Williams of Yahoga, but he just invalidated, it looks like, because the track map is red. So he invalidated a moment ago, but he is still on his outlap battery mode. So I'm wondering what he is gonna do. But yeah, he didn't set the lap time, indeed he was invalidated, but now he needs to probably go into the pits because his tires are degrading too much and his battery only 13% at the start of a new lap is a bit too little, to be honest. So, but he is giving a slipstream to the driver, the Aston Martin or Mercedes, I can see it behind him. So they will be very, very happy. I'm wondering how it's gonna go for qualifying even further in a moment. I'm very curious.
Yeah, so I mean, it's interesting too because here's something that I didn't think it was really going to be a big issue going into Division 4, but it was quite an issue going into Div 4. Is that you can really get caught out by a safety car when we get into the full race. But and I actually saw it in the race director a bit as I was kind of scrolling through there. Is that violating the pit limit exit has been a source of a few penalties here this week. So I mean, Div 4, quite a few drivers got hit with a crossing a white line on pit exit penalty. So that could really just throw your whole entire race through a loop. But yeah, I mean, it's the last week for, or yeah, it is the last week for. I think this is actually overall the last evaluation race of the season. So it's going to be a lot of fun here. I mean, you're definitely not going to want to miss any bit of this action. It's going to be pedal to the metal, and these drivers are really going to try to get that seat that they really want. So they're going to work hard to impress the team principals, and a good result here will definitely it will definitely do wonders here if you can go ahead and get a fantastic result here in this race, because this is a very tricky track to navigate.
Right now we're going with the Ferrari of H-Town. He didn't set a lap time yet, so this will be very, very important. Right now he is on a fast lap first sector, then not a purple sector, but we will see how he's going to do. Battery he didn't use that much. I think if I can estimate he has left like 80% for the lap. So that's a lot he's going right now in the DRS zone with 7 minutes left, which means he's right now on a fast lap. Then he probably will go into the pits after a lap, wait a bit, like 2 or 3 minutes until it's the time of qualifying is almost over, and it's the best grip on the circuit. And then you can set the best lap time, and then he will probably go out like everyone. Right now you also can see that a lot of people are on out laps, while H-Town gets the fastest lap of 1:30.343, very close to the Red Bull in second place of Old Footy Bender. Of course, it's equal performance, so it doesn't matter in which team you are. It's still the same performance for the car in the race. Otherwise, you might be in a very large disadvantage, and we don't really want that, to be honest.
Yeah, it's going to be a interesting race here. I mean, Singapore takes no prisoners. Singapore is a track that bites very, very toughly, and yeah, if you're able to get a good lap around here, you're gonna really do yourself a lot of favors when it does come to qualifying here. I mean, even then, you want to be in a good position to go ahead and just take off, because the DRS is pretty strong here, but the overtaking opportunities, there's probably less overtaking opportunities than any of the previous tracks we've visited, being Bahrain, then Interlagos, then the Red Bull Ring. So you really want to go ahead and put pedal to the metal and get a good qualifying spot, because it is very easy to defend here on this circuit. I mean, it has been easier to overtake since they removed that chicane, but I mean, the trickiest part is just keeping your car facing in the right direction, because there's a lot of drivers who, in qualifying and in the race for the earlier divisions early on in the week, that have just really messed with drivers. A lot of instances where drivers have spun out, seen some wrecks even in the bridge, a few VSCs, and I think a full safety car at one point in Div 4. But yeah, so pretty much just keeping your car facing in the right direction and keeping your tires from being cooked are going to be your keys to winning this race, and also to setting a very strong qualifying lap here.
Yes, strategy also will be very important. I think a lot of people will try to go for an undercut, because it's so hard to overtake. An undercut is smart if you're bad at fighting, or if the circus is very hard to overtake. Maybe a couple of people will go for an undercut, I'm not sure. But we will see any moment. A lot of people right now are in the pits while we still have the same top 3 of fastest time. We're right now with Yahuga, if I'm pronouncing it right. He is on the last sector, didn't set a lap time yet, coming in the last corners, and let's see what lap time he will set. Almost battery fully done, and he's coming over start finish. He sets he is right now in 17th place with a 33.437. Not the greatest and not the best. 3 seconds difference between P1 and P8. That's I'm not sure how good that is. What do you think? Is that a big difference or is that normal?
Yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest. I mean, the undercut. I mean, the thing with the undercut versus the overcut here is that a VSC is very likely on this track, so it can really throw any kind of strategy out of the window once we get that VSC, and I think that's actually something that happened. And a few drivers I think it was like 5 or 6 drivers potentially from Div 4 got a speeding under VSC penalty and got hit with a drive through, so that really changed the whole dynamic of that race.
Yes. Not a lot of minutes left right now into qualifying. 2.5 minutes, that's almost nothing. A lot of people are in the pits waiting until the track evolution is the best it will be. But because a lot of people are in the pits, yeah, there's no traffic. It's fully clean air, so it's hard to think. Will it be better for Track Evolution to be better, or is it better to go out right now when there's no traffic and clean air? It's hard to think. A lot of times I think it is Track Evolution that is better for your lap time, but I'm not sure, and we will see what they are gonna do. Jekyll right now on his fast lap again. He is right now in 13th place with a 1:32.5 on fresh soft tires. Let's see how he is gonna do. He has a Ferrari now on the straight in front of him, so he might get a bit of slipstream from him and might.
Yeah, sorry to kind of cut you off there. Yeah, I actually watched that happen. I'm surprised Breadman actually got hit with a penalty there. Or actually, I'm surprised that Crazy Fair was the one who got hit with a penalty, because Breadman just ran straight into the back of the Haas. He's even got front wing damage. So I'm surprised that he gave it to Crazy Ferret. Didn't look like he did anything extraordinarily out of the ordinary. And also, we did get an invite to the other driver, the 20th driver on the grid, who will be joining us. I don't know if he'll be able to make it in qualifying, but he has an invite. He should be able to get into the lobby, so we should have a full grid here tonight. I believe, I'm trying to think of what other car that'd be. I think that's the other red, well, regardless, we're still gonna have a 20th car on the grid. They will be starting from the back though, when they join into the session, but we do have 20 cars coming to the grid tonight. Hopefully, if the invite does work as it is intended to. But yeah, that is actually the end of qualifying. It really kind of snuck up on us as H-Town, the Houston native, goes ahead and gets pole position with a 1:30.343. But I say that now, as there's quite a few drivers still trying to go ahead and make it across the line. Is there anyone who can usurp H-Town is the question at hand. Let's see, there's a few drivers about to cross the line. Larkins is actually on an L lap, so he's not going to get anything done. TMT is going to go ahead and try to see if he can go ahead and usurp him. Doesn't look like it. It's going to be an improvement up to P9, but that's as far as he's going to go. So let's see who else. Oh, Fat Eagle goes ahead and takes the top spot on the pole position. He's going to take that now as we see Woofo pulling in. Former champion Hennessy. We'll see what he can do. A few other cars. He's improving, but I don't think it's by enough here. I don't think it's quite enough to go ahead and take that pole position, but it will be a potential improvement. He's going to jump up. He'll at minimum start in P4 because of that penalty that Crazy Ferret has. But we'll see how this is going to go ahead and play out. He's going to burn the battery, going to go coming across the line. I don't think it's going to be enough to usurp, but it'll be good enough for P3. He knocked off almost 3/10 off of his lap, but yeah, that was a pretty spicy qualifying. Right now, Quiet Cake is the only driver yet to set a time. He's going to try to make it through the final few corners on the racing track. H-Town goes in and takes it back with a 129. That is a blistering lap there. Quiet Cake goes up to 12th. And the Houston native goes ahead and takes pole position by a very nice margin there. Taking a look at that gap, about 3.5 tenths. So that's a very good qualifying result for him.
Wow. So much difference between P1 and P2. It looks like H-Town is a favorite to win the race, but of course race strategy and everything is just a race pace. It's just more important than qualifying. So we will see in any moment. Now we go to the qualifying standings first. Of course, H-Town, then Fat Equal. Third place is Hennes, fourth is Old Foodie, fifth is Crazy Ferret, sixth Woofa, seventh is Brett, Brett, eighth is Chevy, ninth is Legend Tennis Keeper, 11th Ghost Tunner with a Sauber, Quiet is 12th place, Quick Silver goes in 13th, Jacko goes in 15th, Larkins goes in 15th, and 16th is Hoffy, Bobby 17th, Yahoo 18th, and 27 Racing with the McLaren is 19th. A difference between P1 and a P19 is 3.5 seconds. Very good qualifying, but the difference between P1 and P2 very large. I'm curious how it's gonna go, especially in the first laps. First laps. Not only in the first corner, not only in the first lap, but the first laps. How it's gonna go. It will be hard to overtake, but it's possible, and maybe we will see a lot of crashes in the beginning. I'm curious, but let's see. People are setting right now their strategy for the race, and of course their setup, and of course also the fuel. How much they want to have fuel. Starting on the softer tires is better for the start of the race, because you will have a better launch of the start. But it also can be bad for the race strategy near the end. So let's see what strategy people are gonna do. What do you think? Rekas, what strategy is good for Singapore?
I mean, this track and this game in general has been really rough with tire degradation, right? So I think as we're about to get underway with the formation lap, it has baited me quite a few times so far, but yeah, medium to hard or hard to medium, those are really going to be your two only real strategy options here, because I mean, it's a 22 lap race, and even when we go to the full 50% starting next week, or when we actually kick off the season, it's 35% now, so we're only going to get 22 laps. So unless you have damage or a penalty, you're really only going to need to take one singular pit stop. So I can expect a lot of these drivers to go ahead and start on those medium tires, try to go to maybe a lap 10 or even 12 potentially. Probably 10 or like a lower number, just because tire degradation here around this track is brutal. Especially with the combination of this game just making tires out of paper mache, before giving them to our very talented drivers here in Division 6, and all the divisions for that matter. So, yeah, okay, so according to the possible race strategies, there is an option for a 2-stop, but I think everybody's really going to go for the 1-stop.
Yes.
Just because the amount of time that you're going to gain on that soft tire to start is not going to balance out compared to the time that you're going to lose in the pits when you're doing the second pit stop. So it's definitely going to be medium or hard to medium. That is going to be the strategy. Probably lap 10 is when I would say these medium rows are going to switch. And taking a look at the lobby, everybody is on that medium tire. So it's going to be a medium to hard strategy. And if you're seeing the DSQ thing, don't mind it. That is a formation lap bug that is in the game. Not sure exactly what triggers it, but it is just a weird little bug that tends to happen in this game.
Yeah, for the glitch, it's not actually a glitch. It's something to prevent that people just crash into each other in a formation lab. When you should touch a wall or another car in the in formation lab, you are teleported back to your place where you're gonna start the race, but you also get cold tires because of that. So it's not smart to do, and you might have damage because of that, and you will have cold tires for the start. But it's not actually a glitch, if I'm not wrong. But finally, the first people are coming into their places. H-Town first place, of course, then Fat Eagle, and everyone is coming in. Last people are also slowly but surely coming in, so we can start the race finally. Let's see how they're gonna do. Crazy Vermit is a bit outside his place, looks like, but no penalty. But the lights go on and off right now. We're gonna start the race. 3, 4, 5, and here we go. Let's see how they're gonna do. All the same tires. It looks like Fat Eco got a better start than H-Town, but Hennes takes second place already. H-Town is in front.
Oh
Very good.
no!
Other crashes.
There's a
and
massive gaggle in the back here.
What?
There's 2 Williams and a Red Bull all just bunched up together.
Whoa.
And the poor Williams in the middle of, I think that was Yahuga, ended up like an Oreo between his teammate and Quiet Cake. So those cars all got packed in together. I'm surprised that didn't cause a safety car of some sort.
Wow.
But those cars were pretty much interlocked like a barrel of monkeys. So that is very unfortunate for our back 3.
Already a lot of chaos into the start. People are trying to overtake, but people are also spinning out. No penalties yet for crashing into each other or track limit violations, but it will come any minute probably. We saw a lot of overtaking on the first corner, but now it's a bit quiet. Almost coming into the second lap, where DRS is on, and then the most overtakes are gonna happen. H-Town is still in the first place. Hennes takes in second place, while Old Footy gets into third place. Then the DRS straight ends with Woofa, who's 1.8 seconds behind. At the end, at the back, we see a bit of fighting between the Williams, the Mercedes and the Red Bull, who crashed in the beginning with each other. We again see the possible race strategies, but we know it already. It will probably be a medium hard strategy. And the first person is already in the pit, a Fat Equal, also on the mediums. What will he go on? I'm curious. Maybe for a 2-strap strategy that he will try. He will go on to the hards. So might go for the undercut, but undercut now isn't really a thing, because it's just the first lap of the race. H-Town and Hennessy are driving away almost out of DRS from the third place of where Brett Mannequin is. So it is very close. The first couple of people are driving away. One person into the pits already doesn't have DRS. But, oh, H-Town misses the braking point. Oh, net that's lag. What? It was like on my screen that he just driven into the wall with his front wing. We get a yellow into the back. We see penalties coming in. Let's see what happened. Williams without the front
massive
wing.
Damage there. Massive damage there for Yahuga, and actually both cars. Hoffy and Yahuga both have massive damage. I mean, Yahuga definitely got the worst of it. He's missing the entirety of his front wing. And this has just been an awful race so far for Yahuga. He got pretty much boxed up there at the start of the Grand Prix, as a lot of drivers are now taking that fastest lap. He got boxed up in the beginning with that collision with his teammate and Quiet Cake in the Red Bull. And now Quiet Cake has actually pulled away quite substantially. He's now up in the 14th. But then that collision with himself and Hoffy there. Hoffy does get that, or Yahuga was actually the one who was given the penalty. So Yahuga's got a penalty there, and they're both going to come into the pits because their cars have definitely seen better days. But now we're going to just go ahead and return to the front of the field as this battle between Hennessy, H-Town, and Breadman is still kicking on very, very nicely. And right now, Hennessy is doing what he needs to do. He's kind of staying in the back, just right behind, getting a little bit of that clear air, thinking for a move. But once again, you really got to pick your moment. And honestly, that DRS zone at the end of at the end of Sector 3 is really your best shot to really get a move. Same with the DRS zone that goes to the end of Sector 1. But, I mean, H-Town's have been having some really good exits. I think his exits have been the thing that's been carrying him on for a good portion of this race. You got to pretty much nail these corners. This is a track that gives no mercy. And, oh, what is this? A yellow flag at the end of the circuit. Hoffy and Yahuga, I think once again, either spinning out or coming to blows. I'm thinking it's more of the prior, as we see these talented drivers going ahead and shuffling through. There's another caution. It is the Sauber of Thunderkiller having a bit of a moment there to himself. And a lot of chaos happening here. It's only lap 4. More yellows. I'm seeing yellow quite consistently, especially from this mid-pack. I mean, these drivers are fighting very hard, as we see 27 Racing shaking for a move on the TMT, but Larkins was thinking about a move as well, just couldn't quite get it done. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to figure out where to keep your eyes on in this race.
Yeah, everywhere chaos, already 3 people pitting, and a lot of people crashing or spinning. So it is a hard track, and you might not want to go for moves because it's very, very tricky and you don't want to crash with each other. Right now we're looking at the fight for ninth place. Bobby and Quicksilver are fighting. Quicksilver gone for a move a moment ago, but he got a switch back from Bobby, who doesn't have a lot of battery left, while we see the first DNF coming in of Keeper. And a full course yellow is here. That's unfortunate.
Oh, that's a safety car.
Oh, that's a safety car. I didn't know that. That's a safety car. While we see H-Town was 2 seconds in front of him. And we get the first drive-through coming in because of speeding into the pit lane for Hoffy, if I can now pronounce it right. So we get a safety car. People are coming into the pits. Quite surprisingly, it might be a 2-stop because of this safety car from lap 4 to 22. Wow, we see someone, the McLaren, going on to the softs. They will go on a 2-stop strategy, that's for sure. Other people are coming into for the hard tires. Everyone coming in, that's not surprising. While we get another 10 seconds for 27 Racing for speeding into the pit lane. Everyone is coming in, but Mike for Fat Eagle not coming in and winning a couple places. What will he do? Let's have a look. Safety car is out and gets to the pack of first place. Fat Eagle is doesn't go into the pits, might make some places right here, and indeed he does a couple places on 3 or something that I saw, but people are bunched up together right now, waiting until the last people are coming in. 2 DNFs already from while we are at lap 5 of 22 laps in total. Yahuga is a lot behind, almost a half a second behind, but because of the safety car they're going very slow, and it will coming back very soon. Brett Mencken, the only person right now on the soft, the rest is on the hard. Let's see, let's take an eye on him, what he will do. Maybe when the safety car goes back in and we go back to green, that he will have a very, very good start and can make the 2-stop work. He needs to do a 2-stop right now, that's for sure, because the softs can't last that long.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think the soft tire is a bit of a mistake here from Breadman because you can get those medium tires to the end of this, or the hard tires. You can get those to the end of this race at this point,
Yeah.
especially because I think the ratio. I remember I read up on a ratio somewhere is you basically cut your tire wear in half when you go ahead and or when you're under a safety car, so you burn the tires half as much as you would under full grain flat conditions. So I think all the drivers who went on the hards had the right idea, but I got to give credit to Breadman for for at least playing a wild card here and making or taking a big risk here because those soft tires have the same life expectancy as the common housefly, especially around this track. So you're really gonna burn through those tires very, very quickly, and overall, you're just gonna not be in a good position. But if you can jump some positions from the start, because I mean, in terms of that initial grip advantage, then the softs, like you said, definitely do have a massive advantage here going into this. So the safety car is probably going to go around for at least another lap or so, I would imagine, because Yahuga's still just way behind there. He's about 8 seconds off now. So we'll probably get one more full lap with Yahuga going ahead and catching up to this pack. It's actually been a bit of a lifesaver for the Williams driver because the Williams team in general has not had a fantastic night here tonight. I will say that. If Dito is watching, his heart is probably on the verge of having a heart attack considering the Williams, and he definitely would have had a stroke seeing the incident at the start. That is the Williams team principal. But Whiff, who is the Kick Sauber team principal, he's got a mixed bag right now. Oh, and to my surprise, the safety car is in this lap. So Whiff, who is the Kick Sauber team principal, um, he's probably gonna have some mixed feelings about how the Saubers are doing here tonight. You have Hennessy in second, but he's pretty much been like for like with H-Town throughout the majority, if not the duration, of this Grand Prix. And then you also have Thunderkiller, who is not a fantastic start. He's down there 14th, but he's got a really good chance to jump some positions, as the driver just up ahead does have a little bit of older tires and track limit violations under safety car conditions.
Wow.
For Quicksilver. That is interesting. And Hennessy's not wasting any time trying to shake for a move going down into turn number one. But, oh, it's a bit of a snap there for H-Town. He gets a bit wide. He loses several positions on the restart. Cold tires on this track did not play nice. Now he's going wheel to wheel with Breadman, who is on that soft tire. There's contact. There's contact between Breadman and H-Town. The Ferrari and the McLaren coming together. I don't think there's any major damage because damage is set to reduce for the evaluation races. But oh, that could have been so much scarier there if this was big contact and into the wall goes H-Town and Breadman. They are stuck. He's gonna try to back up a bit. He's gonna let the McLaren through, and a 10-second time penalty for Breadman. The interesting call there to give him the penalty, but we do see H-Town just dropping completely down the order from P1 down to P17, and he spins into the wall again. He does not have any more front wing left to play with, and I think this is probably going to result in a retirement for the American driver. Unfortunate stuff there because H-Town had the pace early on, but just lost it there at first incident. And once you get that first incident, it just becomes a massive domino effect, as now he is just clattering every single wall possible. DRS is now, okay. Apologize for the technical issue, ladies and gentlemen. Unsure what happened there, but yeah, I think my co-commentator's mic is having a few technical. That was a bit unfortunate, as we see Breadman off the track as well. He's went deep. And man, for two drivers that were competing for podiums and a potential race win, it's been a rough night for these drivers. Oh. I believe the stream actually went out. Your mic is sounding very rough at the moment, man. It sounds like you're constantly fast forwarded. Apologies. Your mic is like, you're not even legible. Like, I can't even really hear what you're saying super well. You might need to unplug your mic and plug it back in. Yeah, so that's an interesting problem here. A few tech issues at the moment, as we see Shaver Wolves going ahead and getting that time penalty. So we'll just have to see how that plays out for him. Not super great. McLaren is just not having a fantastic night in general. And are we back?
Can you hear me good now, hopefully?
Yeah, now you don't sound like a chipmunk.
Finally. I don't know why I have all those problems, probably mistakes.
It's alright.
A bit. But I was talking out of nowhere, you were talking at the same time as me. But we get a yellow flag. What is happening right there, huh? Yeah, I see a Ferrari also at the back. Oh no. Yeah, at the back almost is left. Spinning H-Town, yeah. With his front wing I was saying it was very unfortunate for both because of the crash. It has ruined both of the races. H-Town hasn't gone into the pits, but it's for sure that his driving is very much harder. Very unfortunate for both. Their races are ruined. I'm not sure who was in fault right there. It looks like H-Town driven into a Bretman while H-Town retires into the pit lane. But it was exciting to see Bretman on the soft tires, a wild card we didn't see earlier, and H-Town was the favorite to win. With his race pace and qualifying pace was so much better than everyone else. But of course it's Singapore. Yeah, it's not a surprise that something like that happens. Very unfortunate for both. It ruined their races, but not too sad for them because there is no points online, so they can try whatever. Hennessy right now is into first place. He got in last sector. He lost a lot of time. It looks like 0.4 seconds from the person behind him into second place. Old Booty Bender. He was first out of the DRS zone, but right now Old Booty Bender is back in DRS zone. But the top two right now is working together to drive away from the rest of the pack, because in P3 Woofa is 3.5 seconds behind second place already, which is a lot. So they are working together right now to drive away from them both and hopefully get a win together, get both on the podium, and maybe, hopefully, don't crash into each other. Old Booty Bender is closing away very much while we get a new yellow flag because Bobby into 10th place right now, 11th place, spun out, but now it's back to green. Hopefully he doesn't have too much damage. Yeah, his left front wing flap is gone, so he will have less downforce and less top speed. He goes into the pits for a new front wing, which is not surprising, to be honest. Oh, mistakes again. I didn't open F1 25 for like 3 weeks straight, so it's a bit weird for me again. I need to learn it. We almost see a fight for a 5th place between Quiet Cake and the Ferrari of Chuvy, but Quiet Cake goes past because of the DRS very easy.
Yeah, we'll see how this plays out. I mean, DRS is pretty strong here on this circuit, so you really gotta make the most of it whenever you get a good chance to actually use it. So, I mean, right now, I mean, it's really just between the Red Bull and the Kick Sauber for right now, as Bender is trying to close that gap. He's got DRS, but then I guess he wasn't close enough to use it just then and there. But now he should open up that rear flap on the rear wing. He's going to put pedal to the metal, turn on that battery, and try to chase down the Kick Sauber just up ahead, closing that gap a little bit, but not quite enough to go ahead and make the move done and dusted. So we'll just have to see how this one continues on, how it continues to play out. But it's going to be interesting because Hennessy is pulling away in the corner. So he's taking these corners better than the Red Bull is. But the Red Bull gets a 3-second time penalty. So that is pretty much his chances of winning this done and dusted. Hennessy might have been told that from his race engineer. So he might be able to go ahead and just kind of live from that. But while one Red Bull struggles against the Sauber, the other one passes a Sauber, as Quiet Gate does move past Thunderkiller up into P5 right now. It's quite a bit of a train here for P5, 6, and 7. A Red Bull, a Sauber, and a Ferrari all duking it out, fighting tooth and nail, trying to get any kind of position possible as they make their way into the corner at the end of the DRS zone. They didn't use DRS, which is an interesting choice. Maybe not sure if there was a detection zone glitch, but we'll see how this is going to play out, because right now Quiet Gate's doing pretty good and Bender is just losing position and time to Hennessy. I mean, even then, even if he does manage to get past Hennessy on track, he's got to build a 3-second gap if he wants to go ahead and even have a chance of taking this race win.
The Sauber of Thunderkillers is looking to go for a move for the Red Bull. He is looking besides the Red Bull, sometimes trying to go for a move, but can't go for it quite yet. He is very close. His front wing is on his gearbox, and so he will probably go for any second, maybe a dive bomb. I'm not sure. While we get a new 3-second penalty for track limit violations. I'm curious when and how he is gonna do it, but I'm sure Thunder will go for it. Maybe in the next DRS zone, if it isn't broken again. Hopefully not. But that's why we do all those testing. 0.3 seconds behind. It's getting closer and closer. He is going for it any second, or he might go for the long game and is going to wait. DRS is wide open right now. Oh, he go. What? The Red Bull still in front, while the Ferrari overtakes the Sauber with the DRS zone. So maybe now the Ferrari needs to go for the Red Bull, but he got a 3-second penalty, so he will lose a bit of places at the end of the race. Back in first place. Also a Sauber who is looking to overtake, almost there, can go for a dive bomb any moment. There's kind of a rule, you need to be minimum 0.6 to 0.4 seconds behind to go for a dive bomb, which he is almost there. Sometimes he is, sometimes he isn't, but he can also go for a long run and just chill in the DRS of the Red Bull and don't lose him, use a bit of battery, and at the end, if he is still in DRS, he will take first place, because Alt Footy also has a 3-second penalty because of track limit violations. So Alt Footy is in stress right now. With 8 laps left, he needs to make a gap of minimum 3 seconds, while Hennessy can go for the long run and just chill in DRS. Wolfram P3 is 5 seconds behind Hennessy. So there's a very large gap on the racetrack. But what do you think, Rekkers? How is the race gonna go out? Maybe a new safety car, or are you just gonna think it's people are gonna go chill in DRS?
around this track, I mean, you don't even need to be near anyone to cause a safety car just because it is so easy to make a bit of a mistake here on this circuit. As we see from an Aston Martin, I think, yeah, Jackal just made a mistake on his own there, so unfortunate for him, but it doesn't take a lot to bring out a safety car here. Luckily, it is set to reduced, so I don't think there's going to be another safety car, but with how close some of these battles are, I mean, you have this whole, like, back of the pack gaggle here, pretty much, going on. I mean, you have the little bit of a group with Yahoo and 27 Racing, and then also some lapped cars that have been passed up by now, but you do have some cars that are pretty close to each other, and another really close battle is this battle up here for P5 between Quiet Cake, Thunderwolves, or Chevy Wolves and Thunderkiller. I was reading two names at once. Bread Making does get another 3-second time penalty for track limits, and McLaren's day just keeps getting worse and worse. And there's another yellow. I think that is a McLaren. No, must have just been the wind. This game likes to throw yellow sectors out. So we have Fat Eagle making a pit stop. He's going to jump onto the medium tires for the remainder of this race. He's got quite a mountain to climb. He'll come up just ahead of Jackal. Actually, he'll come out just barely behind Jackal. But he'll have fresher tires. Jackal's on those 10-lap old mediums, and Bobby has left the session. So I will try to get him back, and I'll let you take back over.
Yes, thank you. Still going on the fight for first place. Wow, we see a bit of fighting. I see at at the back of the pack with also a Red Bull and a Sauber alone chilling. Bro, I'm so bad at this. Wow, the McLaren. We see a McLaren of 27 Racing missing the braking point and doesn't turn just front, going with the front wing fully into the wall. His front wing is still intact mostly, but his front laps are gone, so he might want to go into the pits because he still doesn't have downforce, and he lost a couple places with that, and turning is very hard without with doing that. So he might need to go into the pits, while Jaco gets also track limit violations, a 3-second penalty. He is right now into 13th place in front of 27 Racing. Let's see what he's gonna go for. Maybe he won't. Yeah, he actually needs to go into the pits. Otherwise, he's losing too many places. Probably going onto the soft tires because there's only 6 laps remaining, or maybe the medium tires. 27 Racing sped into the pit lane, so that's another 10 seconds for him. Oh, wrong button again. For Old Footy at the front, he is with Hennessy still. Hennessy isn't getting closer or further, while Old Footy gets again a 3-second penalty, so he has 6 seconds right now of penalties in total. That will ruin his race. That almost means for sure that Hennessy will take the first place. Woofa takes second place probably, and then Old Footy takes probably, if nothing goes wrong, third place. So Hennessy can now chill out for 5 more laps. He doesn't need to overtake. He doesn't need to do risky things. He can just chill in DRS range of Old Footy and then get to win the race, while we get a new yellow. So I'm gonna have a look at that. I think it's also just the wind. I don't know what is happening right there, but sure.
I think he might have just lost it there on corner exit, because that is a very easy corner to kind of lose on. And for any of you who are watching this stream that may be McLaren fans, you may want to oh, we actually have a Racing Bull around. That is TMT going around there a bit on it looks like on his own, so no damage. Oh no, actually no, he's missing an end plate, so he does have a missing end plate there on the front right of that Racing Bull. But the fact I'm going to say that is probably going to hurt the soul of every McLaren fan here. The McLaren drivers have a combined total of 26 seconds worth of penalties. You have 16 for 27 racing, and then we have Breadman with 10 seconds of time penalties. The rest of the penalties, you have Jackal, Quicksilver, and Chevy on 3. And then you have Bender, who is currently on 6 seconds of track limit violations. So, I mean, it's going to be an interesting one towards the end of the race. And there's an Alpine, I think, that is not having a great time, facing the wrong direction into the wall. And actually, that's a retirement. So that is Quicksilver Deck out of this race. He must have heard me talking about the penalties and just called it quits right there. 5 laps left to go in this Grand Prix. And old Footy Bender has pulled out a DRS range from the Sauber of Hennessy. So he's got a decent race pace, but those penalties are really going to bite him in the end. Hennessy just losing quite a bit of time now to Bender. But if he's not careful, this race could get away from him. And he could even drop a position to Wolfa if he makes too many mistakes. But luckily for him, he seems like he's on the pace. He's on the ball. He's trying to put pedal to the metal. Once again, this back sector is known for yellow flags. We have so far lost 4 drivers in this Grand Prix, and we are down to 15 drivers left to go on the track, with the McLaren second of the back row. Then it's the 2 Astons, then it's the 2 Williams, and then we have the Alpine of Eagle, TMT, Thunderkiller, Chevy Wolves, Quiet Cake, the 2 Hasses, and then Hennessy and Bender currently still remaining in the race. That's your grid runner from bottom to top. And yeah, just taking a look, this field is spread out quite a bit, so unless somebody makes a massive mistake and basically just sends the car straight into the wall, I don't think we're going to see another safety car here in this Grand Prix. So I think this race is probably going to finish at least pretty closely to how it is now. The drivers on those hard tires, though, 14 laps pushing on those tires, so I'll be very curious to see what the tire percentages are from these drivers at the end of the race. But another thing too is that Hennessy is actually losing a ton of time here to Bender. May have got caught behind the Aston Martin there of Bobby, who did switch to the soft tire compound. So it'll be interesting as Eagle does take the fastest lap of the Grand Prix with a 1:33.102. The Alpine driver currently sitting in P9 he set the fastest lap trying to chase down TMT. Now the interesting thing is here, if this was a points paying race, then everybody in this race would get points because in Rush Racing League we give points down to the top 15 drivers. So as long as you finish the race at this stage, you would get points in a points paying position. But I mean, there's a lot of drivers here that I think could be pretty good nominations for getting selected for Division 6 from the team principals. I think if Hennessy isn't a team principal himself and also is open to drive the green machine, I think he could do pretty well in that Kick Sauber. But yeah, this is just a reminder to go ahead and tune in for draft night tonight. Or sorry, not tonight, on Friday night. There will be a stream about it, I believe. So the draft night is going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to try my best to be there. Hopefully we'll see you guys there. And hopefully we'll see you guys for the upcoming season, because this upcoming season is going to be a spectacular one. We are starting with a 100% race at Saudi Arabia, the Jeddah Corniche circuit. It'll be coming here in a few weeks' time, so be sure to go ahead and drop a follow and go ahead and support the league, as we're going to bring you 6 divisions of intense racing all throughout the season. As we're actually seeing a kind of intense battle between a lapped Aston Martin, I believe that might be an AI Aston Martin of Bobby, as we have been unable to get him back into the session, which is unfortunate. And yes, I agree with chat that draft night is going to be epic. You guys are definitely not going to want to miss it. And also go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Rush Racing League. We're posting all the race VODs onto YouTube after the race wraps up. So you can pretty much guarantee that if you miss a race on the live stream, because I know time zones can kind of bite for some of these people. Actually, I know I was talking with Hennessy, or not Hennessy, H-Town a bit before we started, and now it is about 5:30 in the morning. For me, it's 6:30 in the morning. So, if you like the action you're seeing here, but are unfortunately just not in the time zone where you could watch it, that's okay. We're gonna re-upload everything to YouTube later on, and we are on the penultimate lap of this race. And if there was that 3-second penalty if it was only a 3-second penalty, then actually Bender would have a race win under his belt right now, because he did build up almost nearly a 4-second gap now. So actually this might be something to keep an eye on, because Bender might actually be able to try to push this gap out, because he is really pulling away from Hennessy. He got caught up in fighting the AI Aston Martin of Bobby here. So they are navigating through the circuit, trying to get everything done and dusted, trying to prove that they got the race pace even with that penalty, trying to prove that there is the race pace there, as Chevy Wolves is now pretty much close to the back of Thunder Killer. Actually, a few drivers have made quite a few positions from the opening gambit. He's going to try to send one up the inside, but goes too deep, collides with the wall, and he is going to go ahead and give that place back. We are just about to hit the final lap of the session so far, so we will see how this goes. I mean, right now, Hennessy is stabilizing that gap. It is still not a gap that he would want, but I mean, if he can pull out 2 more seconds, then Bender can win this race here. No questions asked. So he's going to round out the few final corners on this track. We're going to begin the final lap, and Myro, I'm sending this one to you.
Yes, thank you. We kind of forgot to thank the sponsors, but because it's the last lap, I'm gonna speedrun it any second. We begin, shout out to Pacnian. We one of our sponsors, we have an affiliate code, Rush24 for yes. We have also a similar sponsor. Thank you so much. Shout out to you, AI369. AI369 as sponsors. Thank you so much. SRC. Thank you so much for sponsoring. We also have a code for that, Rush09. And that's for all the sponsors. So we'll go. Thank you so much for all the sponsors. If you want to be a sponsor, you can do that by joining Discord server. But right now we go back to racing. Alt 44.5 seconds in front. But with his 6 seconds of penalty, it will be hard to to win this race still. Hennessy needs to make a giant, very, very giant move. He is slowly losing time. But will it be enough? I don't think so. 1.5 seconds in the last sector is very, very hard. Maybe if the last lapped Aston Martin is gonna crash into Hennessy, Hennessy might not win the race. Ufa will take a 3rd place, that's almost for sure. Because he can pull off 2 seconds in the last corners. And now Hennessy 4.5 seconds behind going in the last corner. And indeed Hennessy will end up in 1st place, 1.5 seconds in front. In 3rd place we see Woofa with 2.5 seconds behind. Then we see also another Haas of aggressive Verits coming into the start finish lane, while a Ferrari in the last corner crashed. That's of Chevy Wolves, and losing like 5 places because of a last spin in the corner. 5th place goes to the Sauber of a Thunder Killer. And in 6th place we see the other Red Bull of Quiet Cake. In 7th we see the first Alpine of the race. We see that's a Fat Eagle on the medium tires. Then we see Chevy, who has spun out and his tire is almost off. Almost off, but he still managed to finish the race. And lucky for him, otherwise he will have needed to DNF. Then we get to TMT Legend, also on the harder tires with the RB, the first RB we see. And then everyone has a finish. I will do the next people next TMT, ninth place first V-Corp of the race. Here we see the podium. V-Corp on the Sauber on the podium. We don't normally see it. That's surprisingly, to be honest. The race winner, of course, is Hennessy. Fastest lap goes to Fat Eagle, driver of the day. Goes to Thunder Killer, also Sauber. Most overtakes is also Fat Eagle. And cleanest driver is Larkins. Then the rest of the standings. We ended up with the V-Corp of TMT Legend. In the 10th place, we see Larkins with the cleanest driver, and also in 10th place, Lekal of the Aston Martin takes 11th. Yahuka takes 12th with the Williams. Another Aston Martins of Bobby goes into 13th. 27 racing with a lot of penalties is with the McLaren into 14th. In 15th is a Brett Man making with the other McLaren with a huge crash into in the beginning, which ruined his race actually. Yeah. Then we have Quicksilver. Also, he DNF'd. An Alpine in the 16th place and 17th place. Also DNF of H-Town with the crash. Keeper also DNF 18th, and Hoffy also DNF in 19th place. Very good race and all. A lot of crashes, a lot of spinnings. I wasn't expecting that, to be honest. But very good race, a lot of spreadsheets we saw. Everyone starting on mediums was nice to see. Refreshing. Also, race pace was a lot of difference between a lot of people. So I'm curious who is gonna get picked for the main season. What do you think of the race, Rikas? How would you describe it in one word?
I mean, you can't put it all in one word. I guess you could say chaotic, but I mean, Singapore is a race that always breeds a good amount of carnage as well. I mean, and I know you said that we weren't expecting a Kick on the podium. I honestly was, just because Kick, when it comes to Kick and Rush Racing League, Kick Sauber has been a very strong team season in, season out. So I'm not super surprised there. But in terms of this race, yeah, I mean, this track really just takes no prisoners. It is a brutal track, the hardest one on the calendar, the biggest test to any driver wanting to race in Rush Racing League. But yeah, this was a good race. I will say that. It's penalty central, but with it being Div 6, it's really a good opportunity to learn, and also it's just an evaluation race. So, to my knowledge, you really are going to get a lot of penalties, and yeah, no points on the board, so you didn't really miss out on any points if that's something that the drivers were concerned about. But the big thing is draft night on Friday.
Yeah. Very excited for that. I hope we actually see you there. I hope I will be able to commentate all the things. We also have with Racing League Spotify Spotify podcast. So if you want to listen to that about the real F1 racing, you can search it up. I don't know what to say it more. Thank you to all the sponsors. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the commentators due to FIA we have here. Don't forget to join the Discord server. It's all fun, even though you don't maybe want to do a job there. Even maybe just a viewer, also fun. We have a great time always there. Also, don't forget to click the follow button. And I think that's it. It was a nice race. It's always a nice race here. A lot of action. But that's it for today. I hope I see you next time. We see you next time, hopefully. And bye bye.